Well, Eric, the homestand well underway now, and the team has had a chance to get a little bit of a breather in to begin this week at least. How important is this week for your hockey club to kind of refresh and recharge?
Exactly, like you said. I think to refresh our memory as far as system, especially with a lot of new players right now. We have a lot of injuries, so new guys coming in, so you could tell the last couple weekend that as far as system-wise, we're not as sharp. PK also, so it's a good chance for to do some video this week, work on our skill, but also refresh our memory as far as system before we get into the playoff. So I think it's a perfect timing as far as not playing all week long.
Saturday against Toronto concluded 15 games in 29 days for your team. I know that you knew going into the month it was going to be busy and hectic. Was it as difficult as you thought it might be?
Well, yeah, especially with not having a full lineup, not having our goalie early in the month. So yes, we know it would be tough. We wanted to solidify our playoff position before reaching that last month. And good thing we did because it was not an easy month. But this week we'll give a chance for all our injured players, or at least a lot of them, to come back. And hopefully we could get back on the right track as far as playing the right way before we start the playoff.
You begin April one of 3 teams on 86 points in the Central Division. It's quite a race, isn't it?
It is. We didn't want to get there, but it is what it is. So maybe with the 5 games left, if you could start playing again the right way, and having to produce and perform, with 3 teams with the same amount of points, maybe that's what we need to get back to play with an attitude, to play with the pressure of winning. I think it could only be good for us to start the playoff.
You work very closely with the defense, of course, day in and day out. And Nelson Noger's had a chance now to get back and play some games. What have you seen in terms of just progress coming off of missing the first 62 games?
It's about the execution. Conditioning, I think he worked really well, really hard to get back to where he needs to be. So he did everything in his power to be ready as far as conditioning, but now it's all about the execution. We always said there's a tempo for exhibition game, a tempo before Christmas, another tempo after Christmas, and then they'd reach another level for playoff time. So for him, he actually missed the first 2 parts of the season, which would be the exhibition season and then before Christmas. So for him, it's just about execution, reading the play a lot quicker in order to make the right play. It'll take some time. We're getting there, but he still have some room to improve.
Well, speaking of trying to pick things up and get up to speed, Justin Woods comes to you from a brief time in Jacksonville, but coming off of a university career in Alaska. What have you seen in just your first few looks at this young player?
Well, he skates well, so that's one thing. We were hoping to get a couple of practice so we could see him with the team. We had one this morning. We'll have a couple more later on this week. So it'll give us a better assessment of where he is, of what he could do for us. And we talk after practice today. I mentioned just try to learn as much as possible, as quick as possible. We'll do video later on this week, but just relax, just practice, perform, and we'll see later on if he plays. But I like what I see this morning.